Yeah, I don't know where you get the energy all the time to keep doing it. I mean, the stories are legion of you and the fights. Not so much with Time Bandit, with Brazil, absolutely. But mind-numbing, irritating, picayune.
Picayune! This is nice.
Yes. I mean, it just seems like
that
it's
was the
always the battle.
Adventure.
Yeah.
Penultimate, we can use penultimate as well.
Penultimate's good too, but for $40 million and all these problems with Baron Munchausen later.
It's just part, I think it's about going on adventures. I didn't plan to do this, but somewhere along the line I discovered filmmaking should be an adventure, and the whole idea is to go out and try to do the thing that everybody says you can't do. And when you achieve that, I mean, it's painful in the process, but at the end, it's wonderful when you actually come out and do these things. I mean, the extraordinary thing with Time Bandits is when we had finished that film, we went around to every studio with the finished film, and they all passed on it. They didn't want it, these films, it wouldn't work, they said. And it drives me crazy that there's a very few, very neurotic, overpaid people who are worried about their future or their jobs, who are making the decisions.
Running studios in Hollywood. Well, you talk about people's brains being lopped away as they climb the corporate ladder.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's the problem. By the time you get to the top, you're frightened of being toppled, which you will be within a week. And so these very nervous people are the ones that make the decisions about what you and I can see, or what I can make.
But if you like control, I mean, you say that the joy of being a cartoonist, which is how you started out, was just having your pen and your paper, and no one else was going to bug you about it. That you could take on these humongous projects that cost millions and millions of dollars and involve studios and technicians and actors and all sorts of people in all sorts of countries. That
I was smarter when I was younger, you see. I was wiser. I mean, that piece of paper and the pen was all one needed. But I don't know, after a while, the paper didn't make any noise. The figures didn't talk to me. And we started adding real people to these things. And then, but my mind still works in the same way as it used to work when I did animation. If you go to the moon, you go to the moon. If there are giant sea monsters that swallow fleets of ships, you do that. Now that's easy in animation, but when you make the leap into live action, it becomes more complicated. But I've somehow maintained a real naivete. I just kid myself, and I'm able to kid a lot of others that all of these things are quite feasible.
Well, the way you do it, this movie is it's unbelievable to look at. Tell me about, because Robin Williams' head is flying around as the king of the moon.
Ray Tuto, please.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't say Robin Williams for contractual reasons, so we've...
Because his agent wouldn't let you get a credit.
No, actually this is all, it's a real, we've discovered a new star here. Yeah. Ray Tuto, and he's got a great future. He looks, unfortunately, an awful lot like Robin Williams. Sounds like him, but he's actually funnier, and I hope this confusion won't interfere with his career.
And John Neville stars as Baron Munchausen. I mean,
let's talk about Canada
here.
I
know a lot of Canadians involved. The little girl you used, the two stars of the show, the little girl and John Neville.
It's incredible that, you know, to have made the most fantastic film of recent years, and we've got two Canadians playing the leads. The executive producer's a Canadian, and my translator was a Canadian.
Well, I was saying that we were the missing link as an American who's crossed over and lives in Britain. This would seem...
But again, nobody would think this is possible, that Canadians can draw in the crowds on such an expensive film. Maybe they're right. We'll find out in a couple of weeks.
You may be dead. It may be your head floating around somewhere around the moon instead of Robin Williams next time. Does this worry you, or are you just work on the next project? I'll get the money somehow.
No, the trick is to get the things done and get them out there. Once they're out, that's up to the public, and it doesn't worry me. Every film is like an experiment to see what one can get away with and see how far one can go on this path. And hopefully, you know, if you get away with it, it'll encourage other people to get away with it, and little by little, there'll be more interesting films made. Yeah,
but it's interesting, the fight and all the energy and the creativity is still there. From the time when you were hired as a kid to do you know, stuff on British television.
I don't know, there's something...
Monty Python.
I think it's because with Python, we were told over the years that, number one, Python would never work in North America. Python wouldn't work here. Constantly we've been told by the best people that our stuff would never work, and always it works. And so when we started doing films, we had this terribly arrogant attitude that we're out there to please ourselves and nobody else, and if people like it, great. And they do like it, and they keep coming. I mean, I made this film. Munchausen was made for my two daughters. And they like it, so I'm happy. So if anybody else wants to come, that's terrific.
$40 million to make your daughters happy, no problem. We're delighted.
What a dad I am.
Yeah, what a nice dad you are. And a great guest. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thanks.